Your Excellency Nangolo Mbumba, former president of Namibia, thank you for being with us.
It is my pleasure to be here.
Great. Now, let me start it this way. How do you envision the sovereignty of information and media on the African continent?
You have used a very strong word, sovereignty. We in politics consider that word very seriously because it's stronger than independence. But nevertheless, each line of business, each line of activities must enjoy its own sovereignty so that they are independent to think, independent to write, and independent to speak their mind. But their mind must also be honest expression of what they truly believe and what they truly think. We are thinking that at least now, in this age, we have the necessary equipment to learn, to train our people, so that they are able to get information from all sources that are available, not from one, not from the other side, but truly universally gaining information and presenting those information to our citizens in a fair, concrete, and positive way to avoid the sensationalization, to sensationalize to things. They must say the truth and also be the contributor to Africa's development and Africa's future.
What potentials do you see in cooperation between your country and Russia when it comes to media and cultural exchange?
I'm happy to say that I gained my contact to the then Soviet Union way back in 1982. So the cooperation has been there at the political level, diplomatic level, security sector level, when we are fighting for our own independence, and now economic level. So Russia is a major country in this world. It's a major power. They are technologically advanced. They have a history of dealing with scientific matters. And therefore, if we learn something from them, if we can cooperate in terms of equipment, in terms of training, we are definitely going to benefit. And our community and societies are going to be the major beneficiaries.
How can African nations strengthen their media institutions to combat what a lot of people see as new colonial narratives, especially seeing it from the window of Namibia and your experience?
Yeah, Namibia and Russia has signed, as other African countries have done, an agreement with there is a group that work together to make sure that we exchange information, we exchange in terms of training, and therefore we will follow that so that it's a partnership with Africa-Russia partnership in terms of media. And if we do that, we are going to benefit. And also on the Russian side, they are going to be able to gain basic information about our own societies, about our own culture, about our own languages, and our own practice in terms of politics and economic development, so that we benefit, they also gain the experience to understand each and every country's unique nature and unique geography and politics.
All right, we see digital platforms reshaping the information flow around the world these days. And now, if I have to ask this question, do you see BRICS-aligned countries providing an alternative when it comes to creating narratives that are suitable for African audience?
In the first place, I'm happy. It's not only South Africa, which is a BRIC country now. Nigeria has signed up. And also...
We even have Ethiopia and
yes,
Egypt, who are members now.
Members. I'm talking now as a Southern African.
Okay.
Okay. We will definitely gain. BRICS stood as a signal that there could not be possibly just a unipolar world, that everybody go to London or to Washington or to Paris. They must also be able to go to New Delhi, Johannesburg, Abuja, Brasilia. So we must have a world that recognizes each one of us as individuals and as countries. And therefore, BRICS come at the correct time. They have the muscle in terms of putting their financial resources together and forming the new bank. Okay, those are things that will benefit from each one of us. And therefore, we should celebrate that. We should endorse that. We should be able to cooperate with all BRIC country members.
Can cooperation with Russia and Russia-aligned institutions, media institutions like RT, for instance, help Namibia in strengthening its information institution?
RT is a well-established media entity and is available actually on all major television stations. We get information. Some other people try to block them, but that is their choice. And therefore, we will continue to cooperate. We have our own media, NAMPA, Namibia Press Agency. We exchange information. We learn from RT. We can send information so that when it is broadcast by RT media, it is authentically ours. And we know what we are talking about when we are talking about our own society and our own country and our own needs and aspirations.
All right, we live in a post-truth world right now where we see the activity of social media all over the place, and it gives room for a lot of misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, hate speech, and all of that. Now, speak to us from the Namibian perspective. How does Namibia combat all of this from your own perspective?
Yeah, you use the word post-truth. I have the person I succeeded as a president, Dr. Hage Godfrey Geingob, used to say, the only thing that does not change is the truth. It's this falsehood that continue to change. It is the propaganda, the negative propaganda, the false propaganda, the fake news that had to change. So truth will continue to remain. And we must be truthful in all what we are saying. However, we must really establish institutions that are well organized, the staff members are well trained, and what they do, they have the freedom to express themselves, but what they do is in the interest of society, in the interest of the public, not of a particular individual.
Now, do you think there are areas where African nations, like Namibia, for instance, can learn from Russia when it comes to information sovereignty and state-supported media, for instance?
I have already indicated that Russia is a major country. We have learned from them how to liberate ourselves, how to use their equipment to liberate ourselves, how to set up a state that is capable of defending itself. So with what we are trying to do is to cooperate with them, to cooperate in terms of equipment, in terms of technology, and in terms of proper training of professionals. And therefore, there is no doubt at all that Namibia and Russia will continue to cooperate in the field of the media too, and we know we are the major beneficiary.
All right, let me ask this question that a lot of people have been very concerned about. Germany has recognized the massacre of the Herero and the Nama tribes in Namibia and has even apologized. But let me ask, is that enough?
The question is not enough. First, it is not only the communities that were heavily touched by the genocide that were done by the German forces, 1904, 1908. The effect that genocide still remain up to now. Namibia's population is small. It's that part of that. And therefore, this effort for Germany to compensate for what they have done, for proper reparation to take place, is not a question of one community. It's a question of the whole population of Namibia, because the motion that started this process was presented in Parliament, the Namibian Parliament, and unanimously approved. Our President, Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, has expressed herself in a statement when we, for the first time, we adopted a date to annually commemorate that events in terms of the history of our country. And she said specifically, and I'm paraphrasing here, we remain together. We remain steadfast as a country and as a nation until we reach the final agreement. But right now, there is no agreement. There is no yet agreement. It's still a process. But a lot of work has been done, and hopefully one day we will reach that. We as a country and we as a nation stand on her words, what she has said, and what she stands for, because she represents us, all of us now.
The whole of Africa tend to have the same feeling, because every country that is colonized one way or the other has one experience, but Namibia has a special situation. Now, if you have to share with us, what dimension should this reparation take, if you have to share that with us?
Namibia has a special dimension, as you have said it, because there was an order, extermination order on behalf of the then Imperial German government, that a certain population, the Hereros, must not be seen in Namibia, and they must be eliminated, and they must either leave or they will be killed. And it does not matter whether you are a woman or a child, not to talk even about men or soldiers for that matter. It was the same order was later given to our population of the Namas in the southern part. And on the basis that these orders were given by a particular government, it is not accidental, it was not justified. It was an order to eliminate a population. And thus, by any classification, is genocide. Elimination of a particular community, never to exist, and to remove them from their natural habitat. Whether now the other countries will learn from us, we also have tried to copy from all kinds of situations in terms of history. Of course, they can share we can share with them what we have done, what we have written, and how we intend to proceed, hopefully up to the final solution.
All right.
Or final agreement. Maybe there is no real final solution, but there will be final agreement to say, up to here, we have now agreed that this must be done, apology must be given. The president of Germany or whoever is the leader they choose should come and apologize to those communities and to the Namibian nation as a whole.
That is really a powerful point there. Now, let's get back to, before I let you go, let's go back to the issue of BRICS and how Namibia views the bloc. Can you share with us generally? And a lot of African people, when you meet them on the street to talk about BRICS, they have this new positive approach to the issue of BRICS. Can you share with us from the Namibian perspective, what is the perspective of the country and citizens towards BRICS and maybe future days, talking about joining the bloc?
Mm-hmm. You are reminding me again of President Geingob. He once joked, remember there is an effort for Africa as a continent to have a seat on the Security Council. And he said, look, since there is no agreement which country, Namibia should volunteer to be a candidate. So our aim is not necessarily immediately to join BRICS. Our aim is to be in proper contact with all BRIC members, Russian included, and maybe led by Russia, so that we understand their effort, we understand their program, we understand where Namibia can benefit in terms of financial development, in terms of energy sector. Namibia is endowed with natural resources, including uranium. The Russians have learned long time ago how to use uranium for all kinds of purposes. Okay, so those are the things we really want. But as I said already, we are close to Nigeria. Nigeria has always been a good brother, a big brother on African continent. If they become a member, we can be close to them. South Africa is a neighbor, and we have a common history under colonial rule of the British and the Afrikaners. So we will be able to cooperate. But our wish is that the BRICS as a project and as a program continue to expand and continue to improve and continue to succeed.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Nangolo Mbumba, former president of Namibia, for being with us. Thank you.
The pleasure is all mine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.